So this is the AnkerWork S600 and it might just be the single most useful iPhone accessory this year. Let's ramble.
Hold up, place go wild when I pull up. They all on me like at once.
Hey, what is up guys? It's great to see you all again, and if you're new here, I'm Patrick and this is where I ramble about tech and other stuff. So these past couple of years, I've been reviewing a lot of phone chargers, I've been reviewing a lot of phone stands, especially desk stands, and I've been reviewing quite a few Bluetooth speakers as well. But I don't think I've ever reviewed a device that is all of those things and more. This is the AnkerWork S600 and it is pretty amazing. At first glance, this thing looks like your average Bluetooth speaker. I mean, a well-designed one, but still, you know, we've seen this before. But when we take a closer look, you'll see that there's much more to it than that. If I had to describe the S600, I would call it a Bluetooth speakerphone plus. And before we talk about all the pluses, let's hone in on this speakerphone feature because it is actually pretty great. The call quality on this thing is remarkable on both sides. For me, it sounds much clearer and much louder than it would on my iPhone speakerphone, but for the person on the other side, it also sounds really clear and crisp. Part of it is thanks to the 4 microphone array and the 48 kHz HD voice clarity, but the real magic happens when this hardware is coupled with the software features this thing has to offer. Using advanced acoustic algorithms with an NPU chip for real-time computation, the S600 recognizes target human voices while eliminating non-target voices. You just put a brief sample of around 35 seconds of the target human voice in the AnkerWork app, and the S600 will locally store your voiceprint information. On top of that, it also has what AnkerWork calls Voice Radar 3.5 AI noise reduction. I know it's a mouthful, but it's pretty amazing. This is a feature that accurately identifies and reduces over 300 types of background noise. The NPU chip can perform hundreds of billions of calculations per second locally, which enables it to quickly and effectively lock onto those voice patterns. We've all been in a scenario where you have to take an important call, but it's just not possible to get to a quiet space. Whether you're in a bustling coffee shop or at home with your kids causing a ruckus in the background. Actually, let me know in the comments below what your most annoying call scenario actually is. Anyway, by targeting your voice specifically and blocking out everything else, this thing makes those calls infinitely more feasible, especially for the person or people on the other side. Now, obviously, I have no way of knowing how it actually sounds on the other side, so I asked my good friend Alex from Alex Gear and Tech, who some of you will probably know, to run a few test calls with me.
Hello.
What up, broski?
You alright?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Just check my mic. I'm testing this this pretty cool speakerphone combo thing. It does a lot of things. It's called the AnkerWork S600. When I'm speaking, it flushes out everything else, including voices. I actually looked up a video of this annoying guy called Mark Ellis, you know?
Oh, not Mark, no.
Yeah.
Can't hear it.
So actually what I wanted to test is to have a chat with you, with him in the background without voiceprint, which is their top feature, and then including voiceprint, and then see what the difference is. Can you hear him?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. So normally when I start talking now, you should hear him a lot less, and you should hear my voice pretty clearly.
Yeah.
When I stop talking, he'll come back.
Oh yeah, he's back now.
Right? So now I'm going to turn on voiceprint. You know, normally when I start talking now, you hear the same thing. You hear my voice clearly and him in the background. But even when I stop talking, he should be flushed out for a little while.
Yeah, it's like magic. He's just about going back now. Yeah, he's back now. This would be really useful like in a cafe or something, right?
Yeah, that's the idea, I think, to use it in a coffee shop, or you know, when you have kids running around in the background when you're working from home.
Yeah, you hear it. It's magic.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man. Talk to you later.
Cheers.
Thanks again, Alex, for doing this. And guys, if you don't know Alex yet, definitely check out his channel. He puts out great content. But yeah, I'm seriously impressed with how well it rejected Mark's voice. Whenever I started talking, Mark would get drowned out almost completely. I mean, you could still hear that something was happening in the background, but it was reduced to just like ambient noise while my voice was crystal clear. Now, what's worth noting and what I personally really appreciate is that unlike a lot of other devices that use similar voice print technologies, the AnkerWork S600 only stores voice prints locally and does not upload any of that information to the cloud. Now, like I said, what makes this thing such a cool accessory is that it is much more than just a speakerphone. The S600 is also a perfect desk stand. Not only does it offer 15 watts max Qi 2 magnetic wireless charging, so you keep your phone topped up and ready to go whenever you need to leave your desk, it also offers the perfect height and angle to make these phone and video calls. The viewing angle on the charging pad can be adjusted up to 70 degrees, which in my opinion is that sweet spot for making video calls. But I also like to use my phone as a Pomodoro timer from time to time, and it's perfect for that as well. And if you use an iPhone, you can set it to landscape and enjoy the clock and calendar feature. And of course, what's good enough for your desk is good enough for whatever surface you choose to place this on. A table at a coffee shop, the dinner table at home, just set it down, turn it on, choose your angle, and boom, you got that mobile all-in-one setup ready to go. Now, one of the characteristics of Qi 2 technology, other than the enhanced charging experience, is that the magnets are really strong, basically emulating Apple's MagSafe charging. So my iPhone latches onto it very tightly, even with the case on. It delivers up to 16 hours of battery life, which is pretty impressive, and I love that it has that big internal battery so that it's always ready for action no matter where I am. And when I get back to my desk at work or at home, I can just plug it in via USB-C and leave it plugged in like a semi-permanent setup. And when I don't have my phone on the charger, I can just fold this down and charge pretty much anything that's Qi enabled, like my AirPods for instance. And the fact that it charges all my stuff, lets me choose the angle, and lets me use the iPhone's nightstand mode also makes it perfect for your nightstand. Now, when the charging pad is folded down, you'll notice that it looks an awful lot like a Bluetooth speaker. And that's because it is. Just think about it, a 360-degree speakerphone that delivers crystal clear call quality. It would be silly not to give this thing standalone music speaker features as well. Just connect your phone or whatever device you use to listen to music, your tablet, your computer, via Bluetooth, and you've got yourself a very capable little speaker that sounds a lot better than the internal speakers on your device. I think that my favorite use case for the S600 is definitely travel. I traveled to Strasbourg, France for business last week, and since I was reviewing the S600, I decided to take it with me and see if I could use it as my single one iPhone travel accessory, if you will. And it really did a great job. I use it as a nightstand, I use it as a desk stand next to my shiny new M3 MacBook Air. Check out my initial review on that as well, by the way. I called my buddy Almir, who some of you might know as Mr. H Tech, which also worked really well, and I really enjoyed calling Patty and the kids on this thing. It's nice because you don't need to be close to the phone, you can just walk around the room and they'll still hear you just fine. And I could hear them much better than I would have on the iPhone speakerphone. But what I like the most in that particular hotel use case is using it as a Bluetooth speaker to listen to some Spotify. I try to pack light, so I'm not gonna bring a big Bluetooth speaker with me on a short business trip. But as an all-in-one, I 100% will. Music sounds infinitely better than just throwing my iPhone on the bed and hoping it will fill the room. And this thing has the added benefit that it does all the other things I just talked about. So for me, the AnkerWork 600 is definitely a winner, and the price point will definitely surprise you, considering all it can do. There's a link in the description if you want to check the current prices, and if you're quick, AnkerWork is currently running an early bird discount where you guys can snag up to 45% off. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it one of these. It really does help the channel. Subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.